This is the Padua Podcast Network.
Running a Fever, episode 314.
Shattering the yo-yo.
Bulking and cutting, and the 6-meal plan.
Previously on Running a Fever.
I think that's pretty good. He says that you could put on 25 to maybe even a high end of 30 pounds of muscle in 1 year. Percent body fat you can cut down to 10, and then you can bulk up to 15. Bulking, you're trying to gain weight, both muscle and fat at the same time. And during this whole process, both ways, you're trying to improve your body composition. And caffeine is another thing, like carbohydrates, that can help workout performance just by making you feel better and be able to do more. It's a drug, no doubt about it, but I think it is not quite as harmful as we've been led to believe, especially if, like I am now, I'm in a normal range for blood pressure and obviously exercising quite a bit. But I've been tracking some different things. No longer track heart rate, and I'm starting to put in percent body fat and probably weight of muscle mass gained. And I may put BMI in there as well. So I had a pretty normal day up until that point, which means I was kind of low on calories. I had waffles and then yogurt for a snack and then chili for lunch, and didn't really have an afternoon snack because I left work early and I knew I was going to this class at 6 o'clock, so I tried to eat at about 4:30. And I had steak and fries. So I had the smoothie that I've talked about before, a cup of spinach, a banana, and then 2 different types of berries, making up basically a cup, maybe a cup, 1 to 2 cups of frozen fruit. Whole fruit is where you get a lot of your fiber. I don't know if you get a lot of it, but you get it from there. But let's see, on a day when I have a workout in the afternoon, normally would have a pre-workout shake, post-workout shake, and they would be different, of course, different flavors and all that, like I told you. Then I have a smoothie in the evening and another shake right before bed. Well, it's only 200 or 300 calories, something like that. I usually actually drink about a whole thing of, the recipe that I put in can actually serve 2 people. 2 servings about what I have, so it may be even more than that, but I just counting up the calories in my head, I think it's about 300 calories. So when I got home, I'm still at like 1,400 calories for the day. Should it bother me to lose weight? Well, not too much, but I was already at 4 or 5 pounds below my target, which is 212. I think it was at 407 or 207, 208. And so I don't really want to go into caloric deficit. Other than that, of course, I want to be building muscle. So I need to get enough calories to do that. And another thing about the cheat meals that are not cheat meals, in addition to the fact that my diet the rest of the time isn't terribly good, is that I just can't eat the volume of food that I used to eat. So I can't eat a whole large pizza anymore. And it's uncomfortable when I try. I also read a little section on fiber today. For every 10 additional grams of fiber, 27% decrease in death from heart disease. Now remember, heart disease is pretty much the #1 cause of death. If you can reduce your chances of getting that by almost 30%, that definitely should be part of my program to live longer. Juice I'm drinking, that's about a half gallon, and I keep those filling with water. Try to go through a couple of those bottles a day, and I will have enough water. I think the ultimate goal, if we were to just achieve perfection, is for each of us to be an expert in our own health, because it all varies. There's no one-size-fits-all solution. There's no t-shirt size for health. Everybody has different, we're all unique, physically, mentally, emotionally. We're just unique people, so we have to find a way, find a journey, find a path for ourselves. And so that would be the goal.
Well, at this point in episode 78, I'm focusing a lot on building muscle mass, which is a good part of an overall health plan, I think. It can be overdone, as my cardiologist has repeatedly told me. It's a slow process, and I think the keys are get enough protein and overall calories, and just work out every single day, or most days, for a long time. The bulking and cutting process I briefly referred to, well, I never really got to that point, but I think my idea of just trying to maintain a steady weight while changing my body composition was right on target. If you're a bodybuilder and your high body fat number is 10 to 15, bulking makes sense. But I've never broken 20, and bulking is hard for me to control. A key point in this episode is that it had become difficult to eat a big meal. I was in this mode of eating a bunch of small meals instead of 2 or 3 larger ones. That's an advantage of the 6-meal-a-day plan that I hadn't thought of before. I've kind of debunked the myth about burning more calories that way due to metabolism rate change or the stomach burning muscles all day because it is working. It's one of those things that I learned. This is a learning process, but there still are advantages, including the one about not being able to eat a large meal. Because for me, that's often how I get off the track. And I don't feel hungry, perhaps, though if I'm expecting a meal every 2 hours, my body may send me a hungry signal if I skip one. Need more data on that one. So, if you got the fever, keep it. If you don't, catch it, and I'll talk to you next time on Running a Fever.